Guys, it's Ta. Welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you. So today we are gonna look at the library haul. I had one that filmed the other day. That one will be first, and then I have two more that I'll film today. So the first book was "It Happened One Summer" by Tessa Bailey. So you'll see what I thought of that. And then we also have An Honest Lie by Taryn Fisher and The Night Swim by Megan Golden. So, very good selection of books in my opinion, but let's get specific. It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. Absolutely love this book, adored this book. This is about Piper, she's 28 years old. She has a reputation of like this wild child. She spends all her stepdaddy's money, like she's an influencer. And she goes to this party or whatever with a boyfriend, and he breaks up with her there. Well, while she's there, she gets, information that it's all over the news. Like, she doesn't want this to be the thing people are talking about. So she decides, hey, let's do a party. So she contacts one of her friends and is like, we're going to do a party at this hotel swimming pool. Invite everybody. So they invited like everybody they knew. Broke in, did the party, and then she winds up getting arrested for it because it was her idea. So lo and behold, her sister Hannah comes get her. And when they get home from jail, stepdaddy is there waiting to talk to them. And he basically tells her what she has to do, and that is that she has to go to this small town in Westport, Washington. She has to go there. And there is a bar there that is her late father's bar. They really don't know a whole lot about their dad. Their mom kind of like didn't really talk about it after he passed in a boating accident. But she has to go for 3 months. She only gets a small amount of money to go over there and get started with, and they have to run this bar. Well, her sister decides she's going to go with her because she feels like she wants to help her, and also she wants to kind of learn about her dad or whatever. So they go, get to this place in Westport. They're completely out of their element. Like, this is a fishing town. These are not fishing people. So she gets there, and they wind up, they got to get settled in, and she meets Brendan. Brendan is a crab fisherman, and he's a straight up asshole, not gonna lie. So she's trying to figure out ways that she could possibly leave, but she also feels like she needs to stay at the same time. So we get to see her and Brendan's reactions when they're together and how their relationship grows. They have some very hot stuff in here. Also, I love the story itself. Even if you take all the sex scenes out or whatever, the story is still really good. So this one, highly recommend. If you haven't read it yet, go ahead and get it. I laughed a lot. They got quite a few spots where you just laugh. And just some of the things you learn about the main characters, like, it's great. So this one, if you haven't read it yet. All right, the next we had An Honest Lie by Taryn Fisher. This one was really good. This one is about Rainey, who used to live in New York. She is an artist, and she has now moved to Montana, I believe it is, at a place called Tiger Mountain. And she's living there with her now boyfriend. She moved her whole life for him. And now she's meeting all of his friends in the area. And she's still working. She's still doing the artist thing. But she has a lot of her past that she has not talked about to her boyfriend or anyone else. Very few people know about it. because when she was younger, her name was Summer. She went by the name Summer. As a child, her and her mom went to this place that her mom's like good friend when they were younger has, and unintentionally, they accidentally joined a cult, and you get to read about all the experiences in the cult that Summer and her mom and some of the other people went through, the good, the bad, the ugly, and somehow Summer escaped. And it goes back and forth, the then, the now, so you get to see how everything relates. Well, Summer vowed never to go back anywhere near that place, and it happens to be in Vegas. And as she is currently, living with her boyfriend and meeting his friends, they had planned a trip to go to Las Vegas, and she doesn't really want to go, but she winds up going anyway. And they all think, like, I guess they probably think, like, oh, she just doesn't want to come with us, but like, she has other reasons why she doesn't want to be in Vegas. So she's very paranoid, looking over her shoulder and stuff. And it's Vegas. You're going to get drunk. You're going to do all that stuff. Well, one night, one of the women that were with them did not return. Then a series of text messages started showing up, and it winds up that she was taken by this person, but the person doesn't want the girl he took. He wants Rainey. So Rainey has to figure out how to find the situation and get the girl out and see who is trying to get her. And it's a whirlwind, like it's a roller coaster ride to see like how it's going to happen and what is the end result going to be. So yes, I absolutely enjoyed this book. I read this one in like a day. I took it all in, and it did not disappoint me. Absolutely enthralled by it. So if you are interested in like cult books, books that have cult references or anything like that, this one is a good one, but it's not all cult based. There are other aspects to it, but really good. Definitely recommend. And this just came out very recently, so it is a new 2022 release. The Night Swim by Megan Golden. This one was it was good, but it was also a hard read because there were so many factual things in it. This one is about Rachel, who she has a true crime podcast. Um, she's trying to keep her podcast kind of fresh and different. So she decides for season 3, she is going to do a podcast with a live trial. So she goes to this small town in, I believe, South Carolina, and she sits in the courtroom. She listens to this trial, and then in the evenings she records her podcast about it. You get to see her do live research on it, and the case is a rape case. A high school student is saying that a very well-known athletic swimmer raped her, and he's kind of popular, money, that sort of thing. And the author, I find it a great job at putting real life things in there, what would actually consist of like a rape trial and just certain aspects of it. And it's kind of hard to read it, like we know it happens, but like to physically see it in a fiction book, knowing that, I find that part is very factual. So trigger warning, if rape cases triggers you too hard, this might not be the book for you. So again, like I said, she is in South Carolina. Well, she prides herself on, her voice, not her face. So she stays out of the social media eye, and she just does the podcast. And while she's in South Carolina, a letter shows up on her car. Again, nobody knows what she looks like. This letter was addressed to her from the sister of Jenny. Jenny was raped and had, like, she died. She had an accident like 25 years ago. This is from her sister Hannah, who believes that um, she was murdered, not a swimming accident, as they put it down to. So she believes that her sister was murdered, and she wants Rachel's help to prove that. So we get to watch the journey of Rachel with the current case she's working on, the podcast, and then she kind of does like this side operation with Hannah, like she's researching the information Hannah sent her. So, and the really cool aspect about this is when it's time to look at the podcast, like it has its own chapters. So you're reading what she says on the podcast, which I thought was a great element. And in the audiobook, which I had as well, the way she reads it, it makes you think you're really listening to an actual podcast. So again, the case with Hannah happened 25 years ago, and the case of the rape trial now is current. So this is a small town. People stay in their small town. So you can, as you're reading, you can kind of see like the stuff from the past, who they are now. So they do have a couple twists and stuff. Some of it you can kind of figure out, some of it you can't. But overall, the story was compelling. I find that I enjoyed Rachel's breakdowns and her podcast more than I did the stuff that came from Hannah. But with Hannah's stuff, we kind of got to see more of what may have happened to her sister. So overall, I enjoyed the book. Was it like high ratings? No, but it was an enjoyable read. It kept you, it kept pace to keep you enthralled with it. And I'd say I'd give it like 3.5, 4 out of 5. But again, trigger warning is rape. So read at your own risk if you're interested in reading this book. All right, so those are my library checkouts. Have you read any of those? Did you enjoy them? Is there any that you're looking forward to reading? Now it's time to go back to the library and see what I'm going to pick out next. I absolutely love using my library. I have two different branches. We have a city library and then a parish library, and they both offer different things. So which one will I go to next? I don't know, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.